on such a cold night. And I was happy the university let our students get in early so that they get in here and get warm. And just amazing to have that type of energy in the building when you know it's below freezing or below zero. So I'm just really proud of that. We could have that type of culture here at the university right now. That people love athletics, they love basketball. To be able to attend a 9 p.m. game on a Tuesday night and have that energy in the building. I'm sure it had something to do with the opponent. At the same time, I think it has a lot to do about what these kids have accomplished so far this year. So Ohio State's got a good team. We were very fortunate that we were able to beat them. You could see it had me really worried in the first half with the action they were running. They were playing small, which takes Teskey out a little bit of it, but we got through it. And then he did a tremendous job, right, on Caleb Wesson. Tremendous job. If you told me that Wesson was going to get 12 points, I believe it. But you tell me that half of them would be threes, it shows you that John just did a terrific job of taking away his inside game. So, and then you can't say enough about what Xavier Simpson accomplished today. The triple-double is incredible. I think just as big as feat is to have the ball that much, have 12 assists and no turnovers. I don't recall that, coaching that ever. You know, and so just he was a spark plug. This game means a lot to him and John, as you can see it. I said that the other unique thing was triple-double, 12-0, and John Teskey getting a technical foul. All those were certainly unique things in the college basketball game. But it shows how John is evolving as a player. He likes this role that he has as being a big defender, and he loves his teammates.
All right. Oh, Jacob, you want to start us off?
Yeah. John, Ohio State ran quite a few different defensive looks throughout the game. How does having a point guard like Xavier help you adjust to all of them?
Well, you know, what they tried to do in the first half was just really mix us up. You know, they're going away from the coaches can't talk to them, and it really messed with us a little bit. It took us a while to get recognition on what they were doing. And then Xavier's been there. Tommy said, I think this was his 100th game at Michigan.
Straight.
All right, there's 100 straight. Yeah, don't jinx that.
Sorry.
And so he's seen a lot. But even he and I were confused for a little bit, and then gradually, once we got a rhythm for it, we started to play with a better rhythm, with a zone or man in the first half. In the second half, they played a couple sets of zone, and I think JP hit a three, and somebody else hit a three, and they didn't go zone anymore.
On your break with Greg.
You mentioned Teskey's defense. He goes the first half without fouling. When he's at the half, he's got 0 fouls.
Yeah.
Do you tell him you got no fouls, you can play more aggressively, or just let him play?
No, not really. I think that the only way I speak to them about that is if they have too many fouls, right? That you got to just be careful. But John's whole game has changed by, it's this simple. He's understanding this is better than this. And this is what he was always doing. He was trying to slap at the ball when the guy was coming up, and he'd run his arms through him, and he was verticality all the time. And now he's learned how to do it. Wait, be more selective with shots you can block. Get to be more involved by walling up, making people score over you.
Right in the middle with Noah.
You mentioned all the things Xavier did, the play when he runs down Wesson behind and blocks the shot or steals.
I saw it on the highlight. I didn't see it. I don't know why I didn't see it. I think I turned to the bench or something. And that's amazing. That's a Trey Burke's block in the championship game, but let's not talk about that.
How much does that energize anyone else? You guys want to run after that?
Well, it energized the crowd, and when the crowd does like that, and I think we had a wide open three that would have torn the house off, torn the roof off the house. We missed it, and JP probably hates missing it more than anything because what it would have done after that block, especially with the big guy. He just competes. He's relentless in his desire to win.
John, you mentioned yesterday that Isaiah had some confidence hurdles to get through in order to get back from his injury. What do you see from him today in that regard?
Well, that was where he was. If you remember the Villanova game, the Providence game, I think the North Carolina game, he came in and hit big shots off the bench. And then once when he got injured, you know, it's sort of you get out of a rhythm, you get out of shape a little bit, and he hasn't been himself. His stats in the league in the 5 games have not been good. So he needed that, but he's been working extra in practice to get back in shape and getting extra shots in as well.
Down front with Chris.
Teskey came up gingerly a couple times. She banged up.
Yeah, he just got a little bit of a bruise that is not. It shouldn't take him out, but when it lands, it lands a certain way, it bothers him. But he's fine.
And then talk about Iggy's ability to hit the big three.
Yes. I mean, Iggy just let the game come to him today, and all of a sudden he got 14 points at the end of the night, and he's hitting big threes right now. It's a Duncan Robinson type of look with a guy who'll take the ball to the basket a little bit. So he's just evolving every day. I think he's understanding that less can be more at times, and that we're going to have 5 guys in double figures, and today we had 5 again, I think, and might have had 6 if we make a couple more shots. So it's just really, this team has to evolve how hard it is to evolve, and that there's no superstar. There's just a bunch of guys that really play well together.
Stay over here with John.
Their coach talked about what he considered the extreme physicality of this game. How much do you enjoy having a team that's not going to back away from that at all?
Well, I think it starts with, when you've been in the weight room and you've been here for 2 or 3 years, you know what the expectation is. And we can't expect freshmen to do it as well and do it well without fouling. And that was huge today, because that wouldn't have been John 2 years ago, right? But Iggy stepped right into that role right now, and Charles can play real physical as well, and of course Xavier is. What I love is, like, one of the bigger plays was Jordan Poole's charge where he took on Wesson. I mean, that's to stand in there and take. He weighs 220. I think JP's 190 or something. That's a heck of a charge. So we just got to continue to embrace. We can play physical without bad fouls. They've been going to the foul line over 20 times a game. They went 6. That speaks well to how well we defended them today.
Coach, as far as Teskey being part of the technical foul there, what was the explanation you got for?
Yeah, it was just the 2 guys. They don't give me a long explanation, right? Double technicals. You're 2 guys. They're 2 guys. Let's play. So I don't know how to watch it on video, but I think anybody that steps in and touches anybody or says anything or curses or anything like that, probably at that time, might get a technical. What we were concerned of is added another one to our total, and they get another one because those 2 were really upset. They get another one, they're out for the game. So we were really concerned about just be quiet right now. I think I said that in different words. Be quiet right now, right, and just play ball. Let our actions speak for them. Let them do the talking. We're going to let our actions speak for us.
And then did you do anything? Wesson got some baskets early, but then not so much.
Yeah, he got the big 34.
Yeah.
He got the 2. He got a pop 3 in the first half, pop 3 in the second half. He's only made 10 on the year. We were going to try to, what we call stab at him, fake like we're rotating at him, and then get out of there. But he really popped and he shot it. I mean, that's the way they opened the game. I thought this would be a long night if he's going to be making those, because that's really tough to guard that type of pop 5. And so I think the other key adjustment that we made is we tried to get Xavier on Jackson all the time. We had switched some screens again, and he went to the foul line. You remember, I think he drew 3 fouls in a row when he had different matchups. That was the other thing that I thought adjustment that we made during the game. Luke made.
John, I think you guys missed your first 4 or 5 threes, and then kind of got going from
Yeah.
there. Really, for the first time in a couple of games. What was the big difference there after that start, and how big is that for you?
Yeah, I think it wasn't the team missing. JP had some really good looks that we have a lot of confidence. At that first time out, the only thing I told him was, JP, the only mistake now would be stop shooting, because you are open, and he's got an NBA line range. Keep shooting it. And that was my only message to him at that time. But it was basically he missed some of those. I forget, maybe Charles had a step back at shot clock time. I don't think Iggy took one. Xavier might have missed one. But JP, when he shoots and misses a few times, it's not so bad. We know he's going to make them eventually.
And how big is it for the offense to get?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you see any time, how many we end up with? We end up with 10. When you see us with 10 made threes, it's usually a W.
Coach, I think that's going to do it.
All right, thank you. Be safe. Wear your earmuffs.